Hello, I'm Dr. Murray Susser, and I'm here to talk to you about some wonderful subjects that can affect our lives in a really beneficial way, particularly stress, what to do about stress, and feeling sick, just feeling sick, stress and feeling sick. Uh, I'm reminded of what Mark Twain said about the weather. He said, everybody talks about the weather, but nobody does anything about it. Well, I'm here to do something about stress. And what I found about stress is that it can be dealt with if you understand it. And in the title of this talk, I have thymus, the thymus gland. And a lot of people have not heard of the thymus gland, and it ties in very closely with stress because it and the adrenal gland, which most people have heard of, work together to battle the forces of stress as they damage our body or torment our body and our mind. So the stress idea is this. Stress was defined first in 1934-35 by Hans Selye, a great doctor from Europe who did most of his work in Canada. And Hans Selye defined stress as the non-specific response of the body to any demand put upon it. Now, I read that about Hans Selye many years ago, and I got interested in his work. And I've been studying stress for, probably close to 40 years. And I've been in practice. This is a book that I wrote, I co-authored with my friend Michael Rosenbaum, Solving the Puzzle of Chronic Fatigue Syndrome. Chronic fatigue syndrome is closely involved with stress. And so is the thymus gland. So we're trying to tie a bunch of things that may not seem to be tied together, but they are, and they're tied together very closely in a very important way. And so in my book, our book, 20-some years ago, we talked about stress then, and we talked about the thymus gland, and it was not talked about very much then. But the thymus gland is the master gland, if you will. It's the quarterback of the immune system. The immune system is what we use to fight off infection and toxins and to heal when we're damaged. And if the immune system isn't working right, then we won't be working right. And thymus gland, in a stressful situation, the thymus gland can shrink up by 50% within a week. The thymus gland is here. It's under the breastbone, just behind the manubrium sternum, if you'll forgive a little anatomy. It's right behind the sternum is the breastbone. And the thymus gland sits there and sends out signals by way of hormones called thymosin. It sends out signals to the glandular parts of the body that make white cells particularly. So the thymus tells the body what white cells to make to fight off infection, to fight off toxins, to fight off cancer. And it also tells the body what white cells not to make. Because there are certain white cells that are programmed to attack our own cells in the body. And that's a quirk of nature. I won't go, it's a very complicated situation. But the thymus gland tells these cells not to function. It puts them to sleep. And then they don't bother us, and they don't cause what is called autoimmune disease. Auto means self, and immune means protection. So it's kind of like friendly fire. Autoimmune diseases like rheumatoid arthritis, which most people have heard of, and a lot of people have heard of lupus. And there are all these particular infections and toxicities and degenerations which are caused by autoimmune attacks. And an autoimmune attack, it doesn't make any sense, but it's the same principle as friendly fire in a war. Lots of troops are killed by so-called friendly fire, and of course, that's an oxymoron. There's nothing friendly about it, except that it came from friendly troops. And the same thing goes on with the body with autoimmune disease. And the thymus gland helps keep us from getting autoimmune disease. When the thymus gland breaks down, or some other part of the system breaks down, we can get rheumatoid arthritis or something of that nature. So the thymus gland. Now the thymus, I've been involved with using thymus protein and thymus glandular extract for many, many years, probably over 40. And in recent years, it's become apparent that we can have better preparations than we ever had before. Right now, I've created a product called Primal Boost, which is a combination of glandulars, and particularly thymus. And if the thymus gland in this product gets a chance, it can make a tremendous difference in not feeling well. Hans Selye, who defined the word stress, he took it from engineering, and engineering stress just means the amount of force or effort it takes to break or bend a structure or a substance. And before Hans Selye, stress was just used in engineering. He applied it to biological systems like humans. And so the stress that we feel and we get is fought off and corrected by the immune system. And if we know how to use the immune system in various ways, both emotionally and physically, then we can overcome stress. So anyhow, I would say at this point, look into stress from the point of view of the thymus gland, and the point of view of the adrenal gland, and the point of view of Mark Twain, who said there's nothing you can do about the weather. Thank you.